All right, we will go ahead and call the Wednesday, August 7th, City of Solon Regular Council meeting into session. Start with the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Duncan. Here. Farland. Here. Gabriel.
Here.
Kramer.
Here.
And Whitehead is absent tonight. With our civility pledge, we pledge to promote civility by listening, being respectful of others, and acknowledging that we are all striving to support and improve our community. Perfecting and approval of the agenda. Any changes to the agenda tonight?
No changes.
Perfected for the agenda. I'll say it.
All right, Duncan.
Yes.
Farland.
Yes.
Gabriel. Kramer.
Yes.
Next is citizen speak. This is a time for anybody that would like to speak on anything that is not an agenda item tonight. Is there anybody that has? Next, that takes us to the consent agenda. So the approval of the minutes from our July 17th regular meeting, approval of the list of bills, treasurer's reports and transfers, building permits, which there are a couple, beer and liquor license approvals. We have Casey's at 1200 South Market tonight. And then before we vote, we'll talk about the event, Buffs Oktoberfest as well. So I guess with that, if you want to talk a little bit about your event.
Sure.
You're fine right now.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for having me today. So I was planning an event in October, just to try to grow something here in Solon. Had a lot of requests, had some bands even talk to me about it. So start putting together feelers for an Oktoberfest. And then got some conversation with the fire department regarding their dance last year. What went well, what could they do different, stuff like that. Just one thing led to another. Based on our discussions, we thought it would be a good idea maybe to partner, move out the fireman's dance out into September, late September. Get people more settled into school and maybe a little cooler weather and help maybe drive some more attendance to that. So we looked at talking about making a Solon Oktoberfest, supporting the Solon Fire Department, sponsored by Buffs and potentially other businesses here in town. So obviously timing, not a lot of time between now and September 28th. So we are looking to do similar actions as the fire department did in 2023, closing off the street. It'd be similar to Beef Days for that one-day event. With that, I would apply using my current bus license for the 1 day or 5 day, whatever they allot liquor license, and then also have some food and live entertainment during that time. Currently on the agenda, we have 3 bands, a DJ, and a potential other singer, but based on even a suggestion from Cammie, maybe pulling in the times a little bit based off the cooler weather, so be more of a day event, or maybe like a noon to 8 event, and then maybe an after event could possibly come into the Buffs game day or the Legion or whoever we partner with. So that's what we're looking at currently. Obviously requesting approval or a permit to move forward with that. And then I will be getting started on the liquor license, and try to get all that done, to be in front of you guys within your next few meetings, for approval.
I'm assuming we need to do a lease similar to what we've done with other events, correct?
We do the road closure and the lease.
And would we be working with the sheriff's department to get appropriate coverage for that time?
So, yeah, so I was looking at potentially with 2 entrances with the gates and stuff, and maybe get away with 2 sheriff's departments on looking to, yeah, get two reserves, if not more, based off of their opinion, what they think would be adequate for that as well. Partnering with the fire department, and maybe the city, Deep Days Committee or whoever, just utilization of resources, best practices and things like that. I'd love for it to be a Solon Oktoberfest, so it grows every year. To be something that, hey, we're gonna go to Solon in October or end of September. Worked out well based off of some of the bans and things that September 28th was in Iowa bye week, so that made a good date for us. And it's right in that temperature zone, right? And I think people will be ready to get out. They're settled into, school and things of that nature. So yeah, still putting together lots of ideas. I've been doing a lot of discussions with people, just what best practices, what they'd like to see, and hopefully we can grow it into something different.
Any questions or concerns that anybody has with this? I know just when we met and we're talking about it, we've done a lot of legwork and just kind of seeing what's worked well in the past, what could be improved from things in the past, like really putting a lot of thought into it, which we really appreciate.
Yeah, and I definitely, when Matt came and talked to me and others, and I just thought it would be a good fit. I come from a small town with a volunteer fire department. The Fireman's Dance was our biggest event of the year. But that was always held at the fire department. So, obviously, that's tough with our new building and everything, but I think we can definitely, promote it and drive some benefit, and raise some money. Be a win-win for many people.
Sounds great. Yep. So with all of that, I'm assuming any next steps we have you work with Cammy and Scott.
Yep, Kenny gave me some things, some action items, going out over the closure and mapping and how that should look, based on both of the Highway 1 and the Butte. So need to redo the map, and I'll get that turned in, and I'll start processing some other things and reaching out and make sure I got everything covered. So right now where we are, Cammy did provide me the application for the fire department that was turned into, so I'll definitely be, partnering there and trying to make sure it lines up to what we're thinking. And if we grow or make changes, I'll definitely come and present it at one of the next future council meetings.
And it sounds like you're already working with other businesses in the area, but just as when others request it, we ask that they connect with the businesses. So do the same.
Yeah,
Kind of talking with the other businesses.
reached out to for now based on the location, just on Tom too, just with the Solon Legion, and they house the firemen's dance for years, and then one part of that, I want to make sure, I will be meeting with them. They did ask me when I asked the need, is this about the Oktoberfest? So I did already give them some indication, but really I need to go through what their role will be, what they can and cannot do, and what that will be. The benefit of that, what I like to bring the Legion is that's our contingency plan. If it rains, we'll have two locations, and we could put music in both locations and still have the event between both buildings. So that's still to be determined.
Good. All right. With that, we have a consent agenda. So again, going over the minutes, the bills, the transfers, building permits, liquor license, and the event. Do we have any concerns with the liquor license at all?
Nope.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second. All right, Duncan? Yes. Farling?
Yes.
Gabriel? Kramer? Yes. All right, takes us down to the fire department report. They have been busy. Lately, we did not have a July agency meeting because we met in June for the budget, and so we'll be meeting again. I believe it's September is when we are scheduled to do that. They're still looking to fill a couple spots on the department with it. They're not too short-handed, but having a full roster is definitely very helpful with that. So if anybody's aware of anybody that is interested, they would appreciate getting some names for more interest in joining. Next, the sheriff's department report. Anyone have any concerns that we need to get to the sheriff? All right, that takes us down number 10. Scott, Public Works Director report.
July 29th was a Monday, and that started the curb and gutter, projects. First area that they're working on is up by the BP on Main Street. Both curbs have been installed. They're just doing the radiuses down at Cedar Street, getting those in. They'll work on the sidewalk approaches to those. They also started today working on South Iowa, the east side, between Fourth and Fifth Street. As soon as they get that curb and gutter section installed, they'll switch over to the west side. And at that time, once that's done, they'll bring in the paving crew and do asphalt overlays on both areas. Completion by the end of this month. We ran into we discovered a storm sewer issue on Silver Street. And that was many years ago. Some of the neighbors got together and filled in the ditch with some piping. Did not do what it was intended to do, would not do, so we are in there redoing what they did. On July 22nd, new public works employee, Jacob C. began. And at some point I'll have him introduce you guys to him. We had a bunch of great applicants, and interviewed several people. Jacob just shown above all those, he had 6 years of prior public works experience with the neighboring community, and also comes with a 2-year diesel mechanic degree from Kirkwood, which is gonna be ideal for us to have. Okay. So that's all I got.
Thanks, Scott. Dave?
Just a couple of things, Trail Ridge Part 3, they're working on trying to get some of the other utilities, the gas and electric installed out there. We're working on a sidewalk that goes along that pond lot. And then there's also the meter pit relocation, that's that Gallery Acres waterline meter pit. Moving that to the west end of that development. They have the base core, just waiting for the weather to give enough break to be able to pour the walls. And that should pretty much take care of that. We should see close out of that project relatively soon. Wastewater plant update. We've been putting together some information. Cammy sent that off to the newspaper, sort of a 3-part series. That last one should have been in the paper here recently, Kim. Is that correct?
Part 2,
Part 2.
part 3 is going at the end of
All right,
August.
so part 2 should have just ran, and that talked about the financing. Part 3 will talk a little bit about the different processes involved. That will be in the existing and the new facility. We're looking at to give people an idea of what's all required in order to get this treated, steps and so forth. So we'll have that put together. We're still waiting for proposals back from different vendors. It's a pretty lengthy process for them to go through and price all this out and give us a basis for comparison. We're expected to have alternatives available for council in September, probably the second meeting. Then we'll look those over and discuss those. So that's the status update on that at the moment. Any questions?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Kim? All right. Takes us to the public hearing. So this is the public hearing on the approval of the designation of the expanded Solon urban renewal area. Do we have a motion to go into public hearing?
I'll move to go into public hearing.
All right, Duncan?
Yes.
Farland?
Yes.
Gabriel? Kramer?
Yes.
Now in the public hearing, Cam?
So, this urban renewal amendment involves 4 different areas. The first one has to do with adding property to the urban revitalization area that is currently not in the area. The reason this property is being added is because we've scheduled out Scott scheduled out about 5 years of curb and gutter projects. And, we wanted to get those added in because since we're going ahead and doing this amendment for other reasons, go ahead and include that into this amendment. So part of it is just adding new property that's not currently in the plan. Then, the second item is, the actual curb and gutter project. All the intersections are listed in the plan. This is gonna cover about 5 years worth of curb and gutter projects and really set us up to be able to keep that program rotating. And just as a refresher, the city spends about $100,000 of TIF money on curb and gutter each year. And which, Scott was talking about in his report. This year, we're doing, a couple different areas. The third item is, the North Street project. The city council has, dedicated city resources to the north half of this block here, adjacent to us, to purchase the lot where the trailers are and then the two homes. We found, I think came up a little unexpected to go ahead and move forward with the last property, the White House. And when we did the numbers, we found that the original urban renewal amendment didn't quite cover the cost for the abatement and the demolition and the purchase of that additional property. So we've added, some additional coverage to be able to cover, the purchase of the White House, which was completed on July 15th. And then now, in addition, the asbestos abatement and the demolition of both the Brown House and the White House. The fourth project is the TIF agreement with Tom Trump for the repairs to the hardware store in the amount of $55,000. There will be 2 resolutions later in the agenda. One is a resolution approving the actual urban renewal amendment. And the other one is a resolution approving the forgivable loan TIF agreement with Tom Trump. Any questions?
With that, do we have a motion to close the public hearing?
Move to close the public hearing.
I'll second.
Duncan? Yes. Farlinger? Gabriel? Kramer?
Yes.
Quick on. Trying to say it right. All right, takes us down to old business, ordinance number 487, water and sewer rate. This is the third and final reading on amending the zoning code for water and sewer ordinances. Any questions, comments? Third reading, we've gone through it a couple times.
I'll move to approve ordinance 487.
Okay. Duncan?
Yes.
Farlinger?
Yes.
Gabriel?
Yes.
Kramer?
Yes.
All right, takes us down to new business. This is resolution 2426, resolution to declare necessity and establish an urban renewal area pursuant to section 403.4 of the Code of Iowa and approve urban renewal plan amendment for the Solon urban renewal area. So this covers everything that Kim just took us through during the public hearing.
To approve resolution number 24-26.
I'll second.
Duncan?
Yes.
Farlinger?
Yes.
Gabriel?
Yes.
Kramer?
Yes.
Takes us to item number 16, resolution 2427, a resolution authorizing economic development forgivable loan agreement to Thomas Trump. Kim?
So this is, part 2 of the public hearing. Whenever we do an amendment, for a TIF agreement, there's an additional resolution that's specific to that action. And then it is accompanied by an agreement. That agreement is a formal agreement between the city of Solon and the business. And this reflects the $55,000 that the finance committee had recommended to the city council. The plan was for $40,000 to go toward the repairs and $15,000 to go toward the expenses that the city has already incurred as far as such as scaffolding and fencing. that has been up since last June. Tom, as soon as I got the agreement, I sent it over to Tom. One of the things that, he called and was questioning, had, some concern about was the fact that this does have an August 31st deadline of this month. The temporary easement agreement, granted the city the ability to go and as of, June 1st to complete the project if needed. Tom has, there's been some unexpected turns in this project. And which is, why we're still, at this point. The August 31st agreement in this agreement is referring to the dollars only. So to be eligible for the $55,000, this agreement states that substantial completion needs to be done by August 31st. And I think Tom, and I shared that with Tom.
And it doesn't look like that's gonna be the case.
So where we're at right now is we're waiting on just a little bit of revised paperwork to come back in and the engineers will approve that. Once we get that, then they can start moving forward again. My understanding is they're gonna basically take a B section down each place that the beam that's in there now with the hardware that goes through. They'll go down and refill that back in and rebuild that so that it's structurally a little more solid than what's in there now. Each time they do that, they need 2 to 4 days for that to set up, and then they'll move on to the next one. So there are 5 sections that they're gonna do. So my math says 20 days to get that part done. Then from there, then they'll build that 3 or 4 feet back up and tie into the, there's metal braces that are attached to the bottom side of the roof rafters, and they'll tie that in, and then T&K will come and finish up the roof. So while I don't know that August 31st is gonna be done, we'll be well on the way to being able to get it done. And I'm assuming that we move forward okay with the paperwork, which at this point, I don't anticipate any problem.
Okay.
My structural engineer did bail on us. I have a second structural engineer that has worked on another part of the project. He is gonna, I think, do a site visit the first part of next week, and I think we're planning to move forward. I don't anticipate a problem.
As far as the definition for substantial progress, who would deem that a substantial amount of progress has been made? That be something that building inspector, city staff, structural engineer, how would that be determined?
I anticipate that would be a collective city staff, city building inspector and the reviewing engineer.
Yeah.
Would you agree with
I
that?
mean, it's just, yeah. And I'm not gonna apply for the money. It's to pay for the masonry work. So I'm not gonna get a bill for that until they're done. So kind of move forward. They should be done with it by the time I'll apply for that money.
I think one thing, and understand that it's definitely been a hardship for you on the last, year and a half from the store. When we met early this year, shortly after I got in office, Cammy, I met with you on that. We understand that your neighbors have also endured the hardship of the scaffolding, and fortunately it's narrowed down to where it is. But I can't stress enough the urgency. It's been a year and a half that it needs to get done. You know this, you're feeling the same thing.
Very, very hard. It is. I'm gonna come right out and say it's your building inspector that every time we turn around, he throws another roadblock in front of us. It would have been done before these days, having that thrown another roadblock.
I strongly disagree, Tom.
We're
with that.
working past those things,
Yep.
and we're endeavoring to get it done as quickly as possible.
Yep, so rather than point fingers, we're gonna work forward on moving forward with this, but just want to be firm, we do have the date, we need substantial work. Sounds like we're well on the way with it, and again, I have empathy for the hardship that you've had with it. And you are a great citizen in the town, it's a staple on Main Street, like we want to see this get done right, everything like that, but
I appreciate your working with me. It's helpful.
are there questions or comments over the forgivable loan?
No, I think they've been answered with when we asked about the substantial. Well,
Yeah, that was mine.
oh, yeah.
All right,
I will move to approve resolution 24-27.
Now second.
Duncan,
Yes.
Farland.
Yes.
Gabriel,
Yes.
Kramer.
Yes.
All right, thanks. Next, item 17, Travel and Elm Street Water Main Project Pay Estimate number 6.
This is just to take care of a few, cleanup items with quantities, and, the next item is to accept the project. Everything's been done, we're going to plan specifications, recommend approval.
We have a motion to approve.
I'll move to approve motion or pay estimate number 6.
Duncan,
Yes.
Farland,
Yes.
Gabriel, Kramer.
That's
Next, item 18, the Travel and Elm Street Water Main Project Certificate of Completion. Dave?
Just a step to formally accept the project as complete, and the total amount of the project, $122,314, and recommend acceptance.
Any issues? I mean, I assume we're good, but any last minute issues or comments on the project before we? I will move to approve the Travel and Elm Street Water Main Project Certificate of.
I'll second.
Duncan? Yes. Farland?
Yes.
Gabriel? Kramer?
Yes.
Takes us down to resolution 2428, setting, the wage. So this is, setting wage for the Public Works Specialist 2 position. This is for Jacob, correct?
This is for Jacob here.
We have motion to,
Did you have anything to add? Anybody have anything to add to that? Nope.
We're getting the steel right now.
All right. I'll move to approve resolution 2428.
I'll second.
Duncan?
Yes.
Farland?
Yes.
Gabriel?
Yes.
Kramer?
Yes.
Takes us down to item 20, fire agency contract. Cameron.
So each year, we review our contract with the fire agency. City provides the agency clerk services, specifically Susie provides that, has done that for many years, even before the agency formed. What we do is, she fills out time sheets specific to the hours she dedicates for the agency, and then we're reimbursed quarterly. This is an hourly rate that we feel adequately covers her hourly wage, plus the little bit of overtime that we incur when she attends meetings outside normal business hours.
Like that, you do an awesome job.
I will move to approve the fire agency.
Now, second. Duncan? Yes. Farland?
Yes.
Gabriel? Kramer? It's down to item 21, fiscal 24 audit engagement. Cam?
We received the audit engagement from Chronology and Olson. If you recall, last year, the city council entered another 3-year agreement with them. This would be year 2 of the 3-year agreement. The amount and the engagement does equal what that proposal was that they provided on that 3-year proposal. So we have, Travis and I have been working very hard on getting the year closed, which we did get done last week. And now we will begin the tedious process of getting all that information over to the auditor. Audit is due on the end of March of next year, and it literally will take from now until then to complete the audit. And we are required to do an annual audit because our population is over 2,000.
With us entering into the agreement already, do we need an action on this to approve as well?
We do.
I will move to approve the FY 24 fund.
I'll second.
Duncan? Yes. Farland?
Yes.
Gabriel?
Yeah.
Kramer?
Yes.
All right, and then that takes us down to other business. So council committees have nothing planned for streets, utilities, finance, or personnel. For building needs and growth, we'll be going into closed session after we wrap up the rest of the comments here. The police committee, so we haven't heard back
Heard
from
back,
the
we're
county.
waiting for the county attorney to provide comments to Brad.
And then with the city and school for the 28E agreement, any updates on when that meeting?
Scott, myself, Brody, John, and Steve, have had, what I've done is I've collected all these agreements that have happened over the years, and I've tried to, put them into one draft. And so right now, we're in the process of reviewing that and seeing what additions that we want to make sure are included. And then, hope to have, that wrapped up here in the next week, and then schedule that first joint meeting. I imagine it'll take us a couple meetings. And I sent the same information over to the school, so they have all the same information. So hopefully they'll come with their draft, we'll have our draft, and then we'll sit down and have something to kind of work out together when that first meeting happens.
I will say, because I'm home during the day and I don't have anything to do, I have read through all the stuff that Cami has put together. It is really interesting to see all those agreements, as best we can put them together, all together, where you can see how things have progressed over the years. And when you do look at that, and I think the school will feel the same way, it's about time we get another 2080 agreement that we can all work from and feel comfortable with as a community. It's good work on Cami's part, just gathering all that stuff together.
Thank you for all you do with that. All right, takes us down to city clerk comments, Susan. All right, city administrator comments, Cami?
I just want to share that Susie celebrated 18 years with the city this month.
Right.
All right.
It's awesome. Thank you, Susie,
Congrats.
for all you do. Cleanup day is Saturday. 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. If you live in the city limits, bring your things. Tires, are $10. Okay, tires are 10, appliances and anything with a gas motor is 20. Otherwise, it's free to dump your things as long as you, no household trash, just those hard to get rid of items. We got a little layout. Susie and Scott and I worked with, LRS. We're gonna try a new layout, see how it works. Hopefully it'll make things a little more better flow down there. And again, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. this Saturday.
Any council comments? No? All right, I do not have any comments either, which will then take us into closed session. So item 27, council to consider entering into closed session pursuant to Iowa Code Chapter 21.5J, allowing for closed session regarding a real estate transaction. So that, do we have a motion to go into closed session?
I'll go into closed session.
All second?
Duncan?
Yes.
Farland?
Yes.
Gabriel?
Yes.
Kramer?
Yes.
With that, we will pause while we go into closed session.
Think about that. You came over to that toilet on the first floor.